Welcome, Forest Heights STEM Academy artists. Today we're going to be working on our Day 2 or Week 2 AMI project about Cubism. Cubism was an art style and movement that started in Paris, France in the early 1900s and went through the 1920s. Artists like Georges Braque, Juan Gris, Pablo Picasso, Paul Klee, and Diego Rivera were all artists that were very interested in Cubism. These artists looked at Paul Cézanne's artwork. Paul Cézanne was a French artist that you might be familiar with. He noticed that the world around him could be simplified into shapes, basic shapes. Cubists took this idea further by creating also different views within their artwork. So a portrait might have the front, the side, and even the other side of the face shown. Still lifes and objects were broken into different views as well, where the artist might kind of take apart something and then put it back together in a unique way. Cubism is important because it's one of the beginnings of artists creating abstract artwork. And abstract work is where we might be able to see what the artist is showing us, but it's in a very different way than we would see in a photograph or in real life. So let's get started. Kindergarten and first grade artists will be creating a Cubist-inspired portrait. Portraits are pictures of people. You may create a self-portrait or a picture of you. It could also be anybody else. Cubist artists were really focused on showing more than one part of their subject or the person. So they might, again, show the front and even both sides of the face within the same artwork. Please look at the presentation on It's Learning about Cubist portraits before you start your work. You may create your own work that is your own original idea, or you could borrow ideas or even copy artwork from the presentation. Remember that artists share ideas, and as artists we learn from other artists, and we can really learn by making artist copies or copying another artwork. That's what I decided to do with my work today. I made 2 copies of Diego Rivera's Young Man with a Fountain Pen. So here's one with color, and then this is an example with just a pencil doing some shading. Shading is when we color in lighter or darker areas. You don't need any special materials for this. You can use any paper. It can be recycled paper. It could be paper with writing on one side. It can be a piece of paper that already has something on it, and you can just use it. And a pencil will work just fine. Also, for the one with color, I used crayons and even a little paint that I had in the studio. So, next, we're going to have a demonstration which will show you the process or the steps that I used to create this picture. But these are almost the same. When I was drawing this for the demonstration, I first started by just lightly sketching out the big shapes. Then I went back and started to press harder with my pencil and really create those shapes where I wanted them. When I started to shade, I wanted to make different lighter and darker areas in the work. Also, I wanted to have some of the same kinds of shading in different parts of the artwork so that it would make everything come together and create unity. I hope you had fun with your artwork, and I'll be back next week with our next project. Have a great day.